What is going on, guys? It is Daniel Wright, and you're here listening to another episode of Paving the Way. And how about that intro? Guys, it only took 86 episodes to get us an intro that was not made off of some website or things like that. Huge shout out to Randy, our in-house media master, as his title is in our systems. But he's been working hard on that to try and kind of figure out where the new direction this is going. It may get tweaked a little bit here and there, but definitely a lot better than the the Barney welcoming music theme song thing that I had before, where it just had the thing across the screen. So, man, that was exciting. I about to actually forgot to start talking because I was watching the video and listening to it. But a lot of fun here, guys. As you guys know, if you caught the episodes last Wednesday and Saturday, we were traveling last week. We were down at the Ignite Construction Summit in Clearwater, Florida. And man, oh man, that was it was a freaking great time. Not only was it great because I got to take Kelsey with me and get to experience something like that, as you guys heard about, but for the first time to really have her sitting, side by side with me throughout the whole learning time and the conference and having the discussions and the business building conversations and things like that. It was really cool and really special to get to share that time together. It'll always be something that I'll remember. She's always been supportive. She's attended events in the past, but never actually sat in the guess you could say the educational sessions. So that was pretty neat to have her there with me. Obviously, as you guys saw on Saturday, the podcast we posted on Saturday, I got to have a little chat with my younger brother, Nick. He came by. He lives down in the area. We just got to talk about really his life, kind of from college and getting into sales and client relations and things like that. So it was pretty cool. And, so like some of the couple takeaways from the Ignite Summit that I would share with you are a lot of the people that you see doing business on a day-to-day basis are no different than you and I. I'm no different than you. You're no different than I. We just have pursued different passions, different interests. But one of the big differences that isn't so much a difference between the people, it's just the difference along the time horizon, is the fact that the people that you look at and they're achieving so much and you're trying to figure out how the heck they got there and what they do to get this and that and blah, 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 where we always compare ourselves to each other. The biggest difference, guys, is that they've just done it for longer. They've just stayed committed, stayed along that time horizon, and just continued to put one foot in front of the other for longer than you and I have. And I kind of took that away. I'm like, wow, all these guys, all these girls, they're no different than me. They think similar to me. They talk similar to me. They eat similar to me, drink similar to me, live lives, have hobbies similar to me. There's really not that big of a difference. So one of the big things is that they've just done it longer. So whether you're a business owner, you're an employee, you're somewhere in the middle of that, whatever it may be, don't get too caught up in where other people are at, because chances are they've done it longer. They may not have done that specific job or that specific task. Like someone could sit and say, well, Daniel, you've only owned Proline for 7 years and you've, we did the math today on a different discussion, but you've 53x'd it in 7 years. Well, yeah, but what about the other 8 years before that I was doing entrepreneurship, that I owned businesses, that I was learning things and developing and stuff like that? That goes into what I'm doing now. That compounds into what I'm doing now. Right. So all those other people that you see doing things that maybe they've only been in their position for X amount of time, but they've seemed to achieve exponential growth in that time. Don't be so quick to judge the book by its cover. There's probably a lot of things underlying there that you don't know anything about. So that's the one thing that I got out of that. The next thing, and we'll kind of dive into the topic for today on this, is a lot of people just flat out took the risk. They just said, you know what, forget what everybody else thinks. Forget what everybody else says that I should or shouldn't do. I'm going to go after what I believe is right. I'm going to go after what I believe I have a passion for and what I feel like I can accomplish. And taking the risk is the first step in achieving your dreams. Because most of us, if you have any dreams worth chasing, they're not going to be conventional routes to get there. They're not going to be, if you have a dream worth achieving that you consider as, hey, I want to go work for a company and I just want to, live a menial life and, not have much excitement, not have much purpose or things like that. That's really not a dream worth achieving. I'm not saying you have to go conquer the world and have to Walmart or, Tesla or things like that. But if you have a dream worth achieving, you're more than likely going to have to take an unconventional route. And when it comes to taking risks, whether it's you're being your own business owner, you're choosing to go work at a startup company, you're choosing to make an investment, financially or in stocks or different things like that, you're going to do things that other people may not necessarily agree with. And one of the first points to take to consideration on that is, if you go take this risk, what kind of personal growth and self-discovery are you going to have the opportunity to achieve? Okay. Because if you follow the path that everyone else sets out for you, you're going to get exactly what everyone else gets. And unless you want what everyone else has, don't follow the path that everyone else says you need to follow, because you clearly know where that's going to lead, right? So if you blaze your own path, if you take your own risk, you make your own assumptions, and you make your own research and development and things like that on what direction you want to go, then you're going to get to grow personally, and you're going to get to discover what you have a passion for, what you can accomplish, what you can achieve with the life that you've been given. You are not giving your life to live it for someone else. You are giving your life to live it to the best of your ability and to chase your passions and your dreams, whatever that may be. Okay. So that's kind of the first point there on why it's really important to just take that risk when no one else may see the vision. The next point here is we can hit on achievement and ambitious goals, right? So kind of like on the personal growth side of it and self-discovery side of it, you get to accomplish these things that no one else really thought about, that no one else believed in, that no one else had the idea to go do, or maybe they had the idea to do it, but they didn't have the guts to actually take that risk and to see what they can accomplish, what they can achieve. So you want to make sure that you're really taking care of, ironing out what it is that you're trying to achieve and where it is that you're trying to go. Because if you calculate the risks and you set out a plan to achieve them and accomplish them, then you can go to those goals, right? We've talked about goals before. We've talked about, setting the plans and, kind of having a long-term vision of where you're trying to get to, but the plan to get there can kind of change a little bit because that's part of life, but you're going to something great. You're going to something big, so when you do that, the achievement and the goals that you can accomplish are oftentimes second to none. Okay. And then the last point here is the authenticity and the life fulfillment. If you're taking a risk because you believe in what it is that you're chasing after, you're going to have full authenticity on chasing that risk. If you're following a path that everyone else sets out for you, or that tells you that you should do, or that you need to do this, or you have to do that, then you're just going to be checking the boxes. And I don't know about you, but a life full of just checking the boxes and doing what everybody else tells you to do because they tell you to do it sounds boring as crap to me. All right. And this isn't for just people who are out blazing their own paths, trying to build businesses or whatever it is. I'm talking about building your life, building the time that you spend doing what it is that you choose to do, spending time with the people that you want to spend time with, doing the activities that you want to do, accomplishing the goals that you want to accomplish, having the impact that you want to have. You're only going to get that by building out your life your own way. And if you are following the path that everyone else thinks is the traditional or the conventional way to achieve this or that or blah, 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 it's up to you to take it. It's up to you to take that advice. It's up to you to go on that path. But I can tell you right now, like I said a minute ago, if it's not going down a path, if that person's not where you want to be, and you want to have exactly what they have, the lifestyle they have, the impact they have, the purpose they have, the fulfillment they have, if they are not exactly what you want, then taking that path is going to lead you down a path full of just fakeness and not fulfillment, right? The opposite of authenticity and life fulfillment. So you have to really make sure that you want to figure out what your values are, what you stand for, what your passions are, and chase those. Because too often we get people who love to give their opinions on what directions we're supposed to go in our lives. All right. Whether it's our well-meaning parents, whether it's coworkers and peers that, oh man, we've been here for 10 years. It's great. Just stick it out another 20 and you can retire. Whether it's our friends, sitting at the bar because that's where they go on Friday nights to drown their sorrows because they hate their life, but they want to give you life advice, right? Makes a whole lot of sense. Whether it's the people who, are the extended family members we see around the holidays, which is that time of year, we're going to see people They're going to ask how things are going. How's that, that dream going? How's that new job? How's that investment? Whatever it is. And they're going to give you their opinion on it because that's what people like to do. But all these people, unless they are living the lives and going towards the lives that you want to live, that you dream of for you and your family and your people who mean a lot to you, don't take their advice. Take the risk. Blaze your own trail. Blaze your own path. Because at the end of the day, you're going to have to answer for the things that you did, right? When you're old and gray, God willing, and you're looking back on your life, and if you look at it and say, man, I lived a life for everyone else. I never chased a dream. I never chased my passion. I don't feel fulfilled. I didn't have a purpose. I just showed up every day. And here I am at the end of my life. It sounds pretty crappy to me. It sounds pretty unfulfilling to me. It sounds pretty inauthentic to me. But if you would have taken the risk, and even if you would have failed at the risk, at least you can say that you gave it your best, that you chased your dreams. Because so many people go 6 feet under without ever chasing a dream. And it's extremely sad if you ask me. So the big reason I'm talking about this, like I said, it kind of started with the Ignite conference about really learning like how people got to where they're at in their businesses. Because I'll be honest with you, our company represented there was one of the smaller by size companies, as far as size of team and revenue and things like that. We were one of the smaller companies. But when I got to talking with the people, we're very similar, right? We think, like I said, we think similarly. We do the same type of things. They've just done it for longer than me, and they took the risk like me. Because I'll be honest with you guys, when I left the fire department back in 2018 to pursue Proline full time, there was a lot of people that were concerned. Truthfully, the only saving grace that our family probably didn't disown us is because Kelsey had a full-time job working for a doctor's office with benefits and retirement and all the crap that everybody tells you that you need to have in order to be successful, whatever that means, right? And so there was a lot of people who said, you really need to consider this. You really need to think about this. You're giving up a great career and a great retirement and all these benefits and this and that. But you know what, guys? I had to actually think about this. Being a fireman, specifically, just got kind of like, similar to being in the military or a police officer, whatever it is, there's inherent risk with that, right? There's an inherent danger. And you could argue, there's danger driving to work or walking down the street, whatever it may be. But there's inherent danger to that. And I asked myself one day, if I was to fall through the floor of a burning house and die doing this job, would I die fulfilling my passion and fulfilling my purpose? And the answer to that was no. Okay. As much as I've always had a desire and an interest in helping people, hence that's one of our core values is help people. I love helping people, and I loved getting to help people as a fireman. I really enjoyed it. It did bring a lot of purpose and fulfillment in my life. But the ultimate purpose and fulfillment in my life is I've had it since I was a child, is to build a business that can make an impact and provide for other people. Okay. And so I had to make a decision that am I going to chase my lifelong purpose and passion, or am I going to go down the route of security and safety by staking in just a career that already has the path set out for me? I just stay on that path and everything will be okay. That sounds absolutely horrible to me. And I'm sure that there's people listening to this that sounds absolutely horrible to you. And then I'm here to tell you, for what it's worth, that's okay. You don't need permission from your parents, your coworkers, your friends, your random dudes sitting down the bar from you having dinner at night. You don't need their permission to, say, oh, it's okay to take that risk on that new job, or it's okay to make that investment, or it's okay to start that business. You can do it because it's what you believe in. If it's a calculated risk and it gives you the opportunity to pursue your passions, to grow personally, to achieve the goals that you have set out for your life, take the risk. All right. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. We're not guaranteed next year. So if you end up getting, cut short in life and you don't take the risks, you're going to have to answer to that. Ed Milet talks a lot about that he's addicted to the expansion of his being, right? That he wants to make sure that he's living his life in a way that is trying to grow himself personally, professionally, to the most that he can possibly be in this life that he's been blessed with. And I've taken relation in a fear that he's talked about. And that's that one day when he dies and he goes to heaven, and if God were to show him a picture of the man that he designed him to be, right? So if you get to shown a picture of the person that you were designed to be, and it's not the person that you were, how disappointing would that be? And that's something that we maybe can't answer, right? No one can know exactly what we were designed to be, except for we have this feeling in our heart. We have this feeling in our gut, in our head that tells us, man, something's not right. Something I'm meant for something different. I'm not supposed to follow this path that everybody else just follows because it's the easy thing to do. It's the safe thing to do. So I believe at this point in my life that if I were to be shown the man that I was designed to be, that it would be pretty close to the man that I am. Because I feel confident day in and day out that I'm giving it my best, that I'm chasing my passions. I'm doing the stuff I'm doing for the right reasons. Not selfish gain, not notoriety, not any of that garbage that some of these people do things for, but because I want to make an impact, because I want to have the opportunity to provide for other people. I want to have the opportunity to have freedom with my time and finances to give it where I choose to give it, whatever that may be, right? So I know without a shadow of a doubt that I'm living the life that I feel has the ultimate fulfillment and purpose. That doesn't mean it's not hard. It doesn't mean it's not scary. It doesn't mean there's not uncertainty, but it means that if I had to answer today for the life that I am living right now, I would feel confidently in it. And it's all because I chose to take the risk. So my question to you is, what risks in your life are you not taking right now because you fear criticism, you fear backlash, you fear what could be, you fear success? What things are you not doing at this moment in time that you could and should be doing? I'd be happy to hear about it. If you want to put them in the comments, drop them in the comments. If you want to send me a message, let's chat about it. Whatever it may be, I think there's a lot of people out there that are selling themselves short. And as we're going into this time of year, as we're spending time with family, friends, reminiscing on 2023 and looking forward to 2024, I really challenge you to ask these questions. What risks are you not taking that you should and could be taking? So, guys, that's what I got for you today. I hope that was beneficial to at least one person out there. I have a feeling that it was. If anything, it was beneficial for me to hear that message. Like I tell you guys all the time, you guys, I do this all for you guys. The byproduct of that is that I get value out of talking about this stuff. Because the more that I talk about it, the more that I put this stuff out there, the more stuff that actually comes to reality, right? The more I really believe what it is that I'm doing. I've always had conviction with it. I've always had belief in what I'm doing. But the more I talk about it, the more I solidify it, the vision of where we're going and what we're accomplishing. So it's a lot of excitement that's happening right now. It's a great time to be reevaluating what we're doing going into 2024, and just going to go, continue chasing these dreams, taking the risks. So I appreciate you guys. Like I said, ask yourself that question: what risk could or should I be taking right now to be achieving my ultimate fulfillment and purpose? I appreciate you guys. I look forward to seeing you on Saturday.